Says it's live. I will join you. It's live. Okay, introduction.
Without, I don't undo anything.
The only reason this is muted is so you don't have feedback. They can hear you, you can't.
Okay.
As long as you didn't touch anything.
No, I didn't. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WokeAss Wednesday. I am LongWalker, and we are set for another awesome episode. Is it the first one of the year, or?
I mean, it's the first official one. We did do a little bit on the first, but really, like, first one. Yeah, okay, great.
Yeah, because we had the Friday one, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
Yeah, I said that it was.
Yeah.
On the title, so I hope it is.
Awesome. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still trying to figure this whole system out because our last Friday one, it did something stupid that we were trying to fix and not have happen again.
Yeah, we had good audio, but the
picture was really junk. So I'm hoping this fixes it.
So we might have Guru do some animations of that one because
yeah,
it was a good one. It was like a freaking 2.5 hour one with Nicholas.
Yeah, with Nicholas, he's an awesome preacher. That he's one of the best ones out there.
So if you have the opportunity to go see that one, you can go like check it out. But honestly, it's worth just listening to.
Yeah, just listen to it.
It's a good podcast.
Yeah.
So
we don't know why we did just overload.
I know it used to do fine. Now it's not. I don't know. And this had better be worth it because it's like
we doubled the price on our thing. So
go and submit to the Patreon. I'll put the link in the descriptions because we definitely need that kind of financial support. We're paying $45 a month now for the streaming service.
Right, we love it.
So
we love the streaming service, so that's what there is to it.
We want to bring you to the best of the best, so here we are.
So.
All right.
All right, now I gotta figure this one out.
Okay. So, did you introduce the videos?
All right, we have our normal lineup. I've got Simp Saber Sam. What's the other one?
I think we have Clownfish. I didn't see what you have.
Clownfish, and then the other guy.
Mike versus everyone?
Yes, okay, Mike versus everyone. There was those three. They were new from today, or at least tomorrow, or yesterday. Not
That's
tomorrow.
Pretty good.
I got the newest one.
And let me make sure that your name is good. Yes. So here we are with the video. So just we're just okay.
I need to go here.
Wait, no, mute the mic.
Yes.
Right there.
So to start, the way that I use bun self pronouns is in place of more gendered nicknames. So like instead of saying like a chick or, gal, I'll say bun. And so the reason is I'm non-binary.
But of course you are.
And I feel like bun perfectly encapsulates the balance of my masculine and feminine characteristics. When I think of my femininity, I think of those old lady waitresses at the diners that call everyone hun. And when I think of my masculinity, I think of that very like Canadian, like, oh yeah, bud. Oh, yeah, bud. And so for me, bun occupies that perfect middle, that exact halfway spot between, oh, let me get that for you, hun. And yeah, bud. Bud, hun.
Don't you get wacky on me. What the are we talking about here?
Now, somebody might want to let that non-binary young lady we just heard from in the first clip that chick and gal aren't pronouns. Anyway, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So I have a fairly quick and very crazy Clown World update for you guys today. And as usual, we have, well, very little time to waste. So let's get into it. Now, if you place your attention on the screen for a moment, speaking of non-binary, this is non-binary hairstylist Jonathan Van Ness. Now, Jonathan recently appeared at the Golden Globes wearing this green dress. Now, I'm assuming Jonathan uses they, them pronouns, but could be wrong. Maybe he uses a bun self. I don't know.
Stop being a girly man.
Well, well, well. There is a lot going on around the world today. First of all, Prime Minister Blackface, excuse me, Dictator Trudeau, Prime Minister Trudeau, sorry. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau just resigned up in Canada, and Carmelo Harris is certifying Trump's election victory. So it seems like there's good news all around the board. Anyway, let's keep it moving with some more liberal meltdown.
Unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I think you already moved on from it, but regarding this man that apparently says it's a they, them, non-binary person, clearly a man, wearing this dress, this is the one I was telling you about. I was reading the comments on it, it was on Facebook, and they're like, I'm so glad he has the boldness to be his authentic self. And I'm like, authentic self, a man wearing a dress, right? And then there was the comment that got me the most, and it was saying, well, you know, only in America would this be frowned upon because in countries like Saudi Arabia and in India, men wear dresses all the time and it's like not even like looked at. Not a dress like that. That is a dress. This is a dress. What they are talking about is like what you're wearing right now. It is a dressing gown. It is still a masculinely like shaped thing. It isn't a dress. Okay, this is a dress that has frills and a low cut and all these lines. It is clearly made for a woman to wear.
Exactly. It's, you know, I mean, there's the difference between the two things.
And so they're trying to bring in this cultural thing, and it's like, honestly, if you're wearing this in Saudi Arabia, they probably stone you on the streets.
Oh, especially the way that that one's dressed.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not even just the dress, but yeah.
Well, that's pretty much the only thing that, I mean,
yeah. But
that's the contentious thing that we're talking about is the dress.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really see anything else wrong with it. The beard is fine and shit. But
well, yeah, because I mean, without the dress, he would look normal.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Is that what you got?
Downs, roll it.
I just unfollowed somebody who I thought was a friend but turned out to be a Trump supporter. Yikes. And no, I don't feel bad for deepening the divide because that divide is made how deep it is by how deeply stupid Trump supporters are. You have a candidate who incited an insurrection, proving himself to be a threat to democracy. But let's say democracy. You care about the economy. Economic experts warned you against voting for Donald Trump. So the fact of the matter is you hate people so much, like you care so much about being able to be openly hateful towards minorities that you were willing to skyrocket the price of living. You were willing to basically just everything up because everybody told you that everything would get up if Trump got elected again. But you love to be hateful so much. And you're so stupid. Why would I want to talk to you? Why would I want to? Like, literally, that's the thing is like, oh, like you're going to unfriend people over politics. It's because to have those politics, you have to be a weirdo, okay? You have to care about being able to just say and do whatever you want above all else. Grow up, go to therapy. This is why people hate you. It's your personality. It's not your politics. It's your personality, I promise.
You one crazy ass bitch.
Wow. I think she needs to cut back on the Adderall a little bit. Just saying. Anyway, next up. So this lovely lady with the shower cap is kind of hard to understand, but I think she says something about MAGA being the Confederacy reborn. I don't know. Roll it.
All the news and I'm reading that y'all cannot tell me that MAGA is not the Confederacy reborn. Argue with your mama, not with Tyler. I said what I said. Love you back.
I don't understand the words you just said.
Hey, where are the white women at?
And next up, we have this fellow who is not a big fan of Hillary Clinton. However, he does agree with her on one thing, that MAGA is a basket of deplorables. Roll it.
We've had to listen to you MAGA asshats complain and cry about the price of eggs. Oh, it's so expensive under Joe Biden. I can't afford the eggs. I can't afford gas. Come on.
All right. Yes. You know, this person's talking about the complaining about price. Well, of course, when even there's somebody that doesn't vote, when the prices are noticeably different between the two, then yes, you're still going to want the other one back in that gets things lower and more reasonable for you.
I mean, for years and years and years, I lived the way that we lived, and it didn't matter if it was a Democrat or if it was a Republican that was in office. You just didn't see the difference. Then now we see the difference.
Yeah.
You know, for the first time ever, I noticed the difference in the taxes, and I noticed the difference in the cost of living. And you know, like for a while we had our own eggs, but now we've had to buy eggs out. And when you actually rely on that, not just because you want eggs, but when you rely on that,
Yes.
and you can't afford to buy them, when you're talking about $30 or more for a flat, I'm sorry, that is bullshit.
It is,
You know,
yes.
and that's
Yeah,
like,
the 60 eggs for $30.
right. And it's like you can't live with that. You know, I mean,
No.
this isn't just something that's like, oh, it's cutting into my leisure money. You know, this is like cost of actual living.
Yes,
you know?
cost of making sure that you can make it through the month.
And for some of us, it's like, you know, we have to make it on less than $25,000 a year here in California, taking care of a family of 4 and taking care of the animals that we have and everything, and being able to help the community. Like, yeah, that is a noticeable difference. That really hurts.
It's a big difference, yes.
So it's not just like, I mean, it's not just like an inconvenience.
I know.
You know, that's what gets me. It's like these people, they don't get it. They must be rich too. Rich, privileged people.
Most of them are. I mean, most of the ones that complain this way, you know, they were crying when Trump was in office before.
I know.
They were all happy.
Yeah. When Biden
got in office, and now that Trump's coming back, so they're starting to whining again.
Yeah.
And I mean, both sides do it.
Yeah. I just find that that like, especially lately, the people from the left are much louder,
yes,
and more sensitive about,
of course,
you know, this situation.
And I mean, all the sides have changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what was conservative is now, what would you call it?
More accepting. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that they're liberal, but you know, they're definitely more accepting. Because when I was growing up around here, you know, I wasn't a Christian. I wasn't raised Christian. I was pagan, and you know, I went through my witchcraft stage and everything, and it was really hammered into me. I was like rejected and outcast, and they tried to force their ways on me.
Yeah.
But now the conservative parties are like, we really don't care as long as you're not like affecting us.
Exactly.
You know, they're much more willing to open a dialogue and talk with you. Whereas the Democrats are saying, oh my God, how dare you? You can't think like that. You can't be that way. We're inclusive and we're all loving, but you can't do that.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of the conservatives were once like Biden supporters and this and that on some instances, and it's like they switched. They realized that Trump was a better fit.
Yeah, conservatives are the Trump supporters.
Okay.
So you're thinking some of the liberals,
like Curly.
Curly used to be a liberal, and then he realized that it was just way the hell out there, and he switched to being a Trump supporter. He switched to being a conservative.
Okay.
Conservative means exactly that. They're conservative with the way that they think. They're more traditional with the way that they think and everything. Now, liberal is supposed to come from the term libertarian, which is exactly how I was raised, which is do whatever you want so long as it doesn't affect me, and you're generally anti-government. But it's turned into liberal, which in my mind is just they're liberal with everything. They want all of it. They're liberal with the way that their views are on sexuality and the way that they are with the trans ideology. It's just liberal. It's just out there. You know, it's liberal meaning plenty.
Yeah.
There's plenty of them. You know.
Excess.
Yes.
Good.
Aren't you the party that tells everybody else just to pull yourself up by your bootstraps? Work harder, go get a second and a third job. Come on, Trumpers, where's that American spirit that you guys have? Instead, you whined and you bitched and you moaned. But yet you point your finger at everybody else and tell everybody else to work harder, go get a better job. You guys are incredible. The hypocrisy out of the Republican Party, especially you, MAGA, is outstanding. It's incredible. Your hypocrisy knows no bounds. I can't stand Hillary Clinton myself, but man, was she right about you guys. You really are a basket of deplorables.
You look like Babe Ruth's gay brother, Gabe Ruth.
And next up, we have this lady. Wow, I can already smell the Virginia Slim Menthol 100s through the screen. Anyway, she thinks that sleepy Joe Biden bamboozled us all. I'm not really sure what she's referring to here, but we'll prove her wrong in 1 second. Roll it.
Well. It turns out Sleepy Joe wasn't really sleeping, like y'all said. He bamboozled y'all too.
You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
So she thinks that Joe Biden bamboozled us all. What have they been telling us for the past 4 years, that he's sharp as a tack? Well, Joe Biden recently sang happy birthday to a guest at the White House, and he forgot the guest's name. I guess we can all be grateful that he remembered the lyrics to Happy Birthday. Roll it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right.
What an idiot.
Oh, it gets worse. Joe Biden was recently asked by a reporter how he feels about being the oldest president, and the answer he blurted out in his choice of words offended some people. Roll it.
My being the oldest president, I know more world leaders than any one of you ever met in your whole goddamn life.
He's an asshole.
And next up, we have MSNBC's Kristen Welker asking Democratic Party Senator Chuck Schumer why he told the American people that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack for 4 years. She even plays a clip of him saying it, and he doubles down. Roll it.
You were obviously in close contact with President Biden well before the public tuned into that debate that ultimately led to him stepping down. I want to play you a little bit of something you said last year. Take a look.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
I mean, obviously, they're all liars, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, unless that's their standard on what is acute and sharp as a tack, and that's just the how low the bar is.
But I mean, we already knew they were liars because of all of the aliens, Area 51.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's no such thing as Area 51. Oh, yeah, but there is. Oh, no, we haven't been tracking UFOs. No, we've been tracking UAPs,
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over the place with that.
I mean, that's just government in general, but
yeah.
I don't know. There was a thing a couple months ago, maybe it was last month. He was in Amazon for some reason. Biden was.
Yes.
And he said what he was gonna say, and then just turned around and walked off into the forest, just like he knew, like how animals know that it is my time. I'm going to go find a quiet place to die. That's what it looked like.
And 1 day later, his staff went and found him laying down.
Rolled up, and it's like at least that would have been an honorable end, I suppose. But like everything that he's ever done, whether it was good or whatever, has been completely and totally overshadowed by the past couple of years, at least.
Yes.
like all this idiocy that they brought to light, whether he's, crapping his pants or
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
they've said has happened. It's bad enough.
Yeah.
Sure. Can we? You have sound up, right?
Yeah. Sound is up right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
Look, we didn't, and let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. The legislation we passed, one of the most significant groups of legislation since since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges, a record, and he's a patriot. He's a great guy. And when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Do you feel, as we have this conversation today, that President Biden could serve another 4 years had he stayed in the race and potentially won?
Well, I'm not going to speculate. As I said, I think his record is a stellar one, and he'll go down in history as a really outstanding president.
You're a liar. You're a liar. You know something that you're not telling us, you slimy scumbag liar.
And on this subject, I have one more clip for you guys. Now, Kristen Welker went on to talk to her co-hosts about her conversation with Senator Chuck Schumer, and one of the MSNBC propagandists also doubled down on the sharp as a tack narrative. Roll it.
Let's talk about the Democrats. I thought the conversation with Leader Schumer was fascinating. I asked him if he thought President Biden could serve another 4 years. He kind of pivoted, didn't answer that directly. There's obviously a lot of soul searching going on right now in the Democratic Party. What did you make of what we heard from Leader Schumer?
Well, I was very surprised that when you asked the question about mental acuity, he didn't more forcefully push back. The question on the table is the president all the way there? And the answer is unequivocally yes. Now, people can say that you feel as though President Biden might be a little too old to do the job, but he is doing the job and his mental acuity is there. So I think that there's a conflation of two things here, is his mental capacity and serving another 4 years as old as he is. But those are two separate things in my opinion. And look, these people that have known Joe Biden their entire political lives, I know Joe Biden is like, can y'all just please defend me a little more?
What the hell did you just say?
The question on the table is the president all the way there? And the answer is unequivocally yes.
Lying bitch. She is lying like a motherfucker. I know that. Ooh, that TSA shit tingles. This motherfucker's lying.
Hey guys, real quick, before we go any further, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to let this loop on the screen. Now, fellas, calm down. I'm guessing she's probably a little off her rocker. Anyway, today's video is being brought to us by none other than Pastor Bob Rogers. Pastor Bob, thank you so much, sir, for sponsoring today's video. I really appreciate the support. And I want to give a big shout out to today's honorable mention. You guessed it, Pastor Bob Rogers, for leaving a super thanks on the last video. So, Pastor Bob, thank you so much, sir. It's always greatly appreciated. So once again, today's video sponsor is Pastor Bob Rogers, with the honorable mention going to Pastor Bob Rogers. Now, if you'd like to sponsor the next video and help support the channel, there is a PayPal link in the description box below, and I will say your full name as a sponsor of said video unless stated otherwise by you. All right, I think we've all seen enough of this for one day. Get this off the screen, please. Ugh.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
All right, next up we have this individual who is a biological man that identifies as a trans woman and wants white people to shut up and listen to people of color. Roll it.
Okay, white people. I'm white, you're white. We need to shut up and listen to people of color. However they're grieving, whatever they're going through,
Okay. Hey, Sancho, good to see you.
Instead of been successfully summoned.
Yeah, I saw.
Oh,
I've been
okay, so
successfully
you got it.
summoned. What up, my favorite family?
We are doing well. How are you doing?
Did you enjoy New Year's? Since I don't think we've seen him, and this is the first time this year that we've seen him.
I think so. This is, but yeah, you're right. Yes. Go ahead and continue.
We'll continue and we'll talk even more as we go, Sancho.
We don't know what they're doing, so we need to shut up and listen. That's not the nicest way to ask, but that's okay. That's part of the point. It's time for us to check our privilege and not expect everyone to be nice to us all the time. It's time to just shut up and listen.
What a f***ing loser. Literally, what a f***ing loser.
And next up, we have this fella. Now, when I first saw this, I thought it was the same guy we saw in the last clip, but this is a completely different person. Roll it.
Guys, today I did this pretty green makeup. I thought it would go well with the pink hair, and I was right. It makes everything just light up, including my eyes. What do you think? Do you like this makeup? Let me know.
Look at me, I'm a big fat slob.
And next up, we have this fellow who claims that he used to be a cishet white man, and now he's out here snitching on everybody. Roll it.
I used to be a cishet white man, and now I look like this. So when I tell you that I know what is said behind closed doors, I mean it. I know what men say when they think women aren't around. I know what white people say when people of color aren't around. I know what straight people say when they think gay people aren't around. And I know what cis people say when they think trans people aren't around. And then I share that with the world. What I've heard behind closed doors, people go, "You're just being a pick-me. You showed your whole ass because you thought I was a safe person to show it to, and you were wrong. That's not my fault."
You are an incredibly big piece of shit.
Now, it's been a minute since we've heard from the cackling hens on The View, so we're going to be wrapping it up with this clip of specifically Sunny Hostin talking about January 6th, and listen to what she compares it to. These people have completely lost the plot. Anyway, things are clearly getting very crazy out there, guys, so please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Till next time, love you guys. Peace. Roll it.
I think we need to find moral clarity, in this country. And I just remember after January 6th, you had someone like Mitch McConnell placing the blame on January 6th where it belonged, squarely on Donald Trump's shoulders. Mm-hmm. And then you started seeing people backtrack that mm-hmm. and losing their moral center. You had Condoleezza Rice, I believe, on this very show saying, we need to move on from January 6th. I say no. You don't move on because January 6th was an atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget because past becomes prologue if you forget any race.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
2, 10, 12, 15. Whoop, stepping on them. It's black. Anyway. And you ain't black.
Person says, oh, look, a woman. Right? He does not accept that.
Unmuted. All right. So let's see. Happy New Year to you, DOA. I'm glad you had a good Happy New Year. Hey guys, can you put in the chat who you guys are reacting to?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. I'm so proud of him, as with you guys. Yeah, that was Mike versus everything, or everyone, right? That was Mike versus everyone, the first one. We're going on to Clownfish next. Clown World or Clownfish? Clownfish. And then I guess they'll be ending it with Saber Sam. Is what we got. So that's what we're going on to right now. So we'll see what Clownfish has in store.
Excuse me. The sexualization of children will always be wrong. It will always be evil. Come here.
Oh, we can't leave her.
It's on video. I just got freaking socked the Don't let her go, or him go. Go!
All right, yes, that was Bo Diddle, and
He's another great.
another great one. Yeah, he's kind of like the preacher, but different. But yeah, on that one, he had gotten socked in the face by that girl.
That's right.
And he held her for the cops to take, and all the cops did was separate them and let the girl go.
That was straight.
And he has it on video that he got socked.
I remember that he got punched inside the head, right? Like,
Yeah.
Pretty solidly.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah, he's on Clownfish.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's what happened with that one.
Where's he going? Where's he going? I'm about to have to get her again. Where's he going? Get her. Get her. Get her. Get her. Get up. Stop. What are you doing? Stop. What? Stop. He's touching me. He hit me. He hit me.
God, you understand me? Put her. Put your hands on that again.
They're letting her go.
Listen to me.
They're letting her go.
They have her right there. Okay.
Hey, now
they have her right there. You got it?
Now
Relax. Relax.
I just got socked in
I
the
understand.
face.
She's right there. Okay. You gonna press charges?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's all on video. It's all on video, yeah.
I'm literally sitting at fucking work trying not to lose my fucking shit because I am so over this goddamn holiday. I hate Christmas. I fucking hate it. And if you're fucking poor, you probably also hate Christmas because this is a fucking rich people holiday and it is impossible to enjoy if you don't have fucking money. Someone came in here today and told me that they spent $500 on a light up deer. What? I'm literally struggling to pay for the one thing my child wants for Christmas, which is $500. And people are spending that on fucking decor.
I don't know how this happened. Wake up!
All right, did you hear that though?
No.
That woman, she was like, I'm literally struggling to pay for the one thing that my daughter wants for Christmas. It's $500. $500 for one thing.
One thing.
And she was like, and people are paying that price for decoration. And then she acted like she's gonna stop them.
That's what I mean about the liberals. It seems like they're
Yeah.
so liberal with money. They're liberal with their feelings. They're liberal with everything. So, yeah. Wow.
It's crazy.
It's like she can't see the difference. I mean, there's like no difference between paying for decor and paying for one thing for your Christmas present.
Yeah.
You know. And so I'm gonna get started on the Christmas thing again. I'm sick of it. That's over.
I know, same here. All right. Also, before we continue going, I wanted to we send our 11 prayers down to LA. You know, a lot of those houses are burning up as we speak, and I was watching it earlier where that one house caught fire, then the next house caught fire. Just watching them as the firefighters just let them burn. It's just like what happened up here in Havilah. You know, the firefighters didn't do anything. They had plenty of them, and they didn't do anything and just watched them burn.
It's like I struggle to find out, to wonder like why they don't have the manpower now. It's not even fire season.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, definitely be praying. We've been there and done that. And,
yeah.
You know, the fear, the fear of the unknown.
Exactly. And learning that a lot of those people too do not have fire insurance on their houses because of what a lot of the insurance companies are pulling lately.
Which is just crazy to me because like that's the city and it's one thing to be out here in the boondocks and have them like make that unavailable, but you would think that in the city it would be just like a standard mandatory thing. But I guess since all of California burns routinely,
they don't want to pay it. They know that they're going to lose money if people cash in when their house burns down. And so these companies are just like, you know, they raise the premiums either way through the roof, or they just say, no, we're not doing it.
That's basic to me.
And it screws over anybody and everybody who has a house. A lot of them, you know, a lot of them won't say either way. But some of them will have the money to fix it, others won't.
That's crazy, man. Sancho was also saying that there was a very lame left-leaning YouTuber who came to his city some time ago. We didn't find out about it until recently. I asked who it was. He said, I can't say his name, but I guess he liked it. I don't know. But I wanted to change his ways, and I want to point out his awfulness because my city is like heavily liberal and the criminal. I know he would ignore that and play dumb. So, California, man.
Yeah, it is. So is California. I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, if I ever did come across any of them, especially with the YouTube channel too, I would definitely probably say something. Talk to them about it.
Yeah, it's like you gotta open your eyes and take a look at this and see things from a different perspective because their way is just so radical. You know,
exactly.
It's like common sense just isn't common anymore.
No, it's not. Not by any means is it. And that's sad. That's so very sad.
Yeah. Look at our governor.
I know. Yep. That's another thing. With
the fire.
With the fire. He within the first day calls for a state of emergency with this fire when he never called it on our area.
No. It's all about
the Burrell fire.
Reputation. It's like, oh, this is the big city. This is seen better. This looks better on camera. Who cares about the people that are out here and the sticks? You know.
All right. He says the audio is very low quality.
Maybe speak up then.
All right. Yeah, we have it switched up here, so we're trying to see if this works better. But the audio is further away from me, so if I need to speak up more, just let me know. I will. Can you hear me better now?
It's either that or we have worse video.
Yeah, the video wasn't working the way that we tried to do it before. It kept freezing. Hopefully we'll find middle ground within it all and be able to get this really going.
But anyways, we can pop the chats up and do it that way.
Yeah. So I'm going to continue. Just let me know if how the audio is with me talking louder.
This is fucking America, and this is sad.
If Donald wins, I'm going to be out of the country.
I will move to Spain.
But I need to come into your country if you'll let me in, or Canada.
Listen, if he wins, he won't have to go out worry about immigration. I'll go back.
Where would you go? Canada.
I'm 100% moving to Canada. I love Canada.
I'd be an expatriate. I would definitely move.
Win, I'm moving to Africa.
If any Republican gets nominated, I'm going to move to Canada with my entire family.
Maybe it's time for me to move. I'm reserving my ticket to get out of here if he wins.
I have a house in Spain that is going to be ready right after the election. Panama, Siberia, Nova Scotia. I'm definitely moving to Canada. Straight to hell. Iceland, France. Asia's pretty cool. Like a mental hospital for a while.
I would move to the Caribbean.
The Bahamas, Hawaii. I've always wanted to live in Italy.
I'm right here.
There's one thing I think everyone needs. It's a 5XL shirt just brought in. I cut the shoulder off, Summit and Domdala. And I just wear it when I get out of the pool, when I'm going to the pool, when I get out of the shower, when I'm lounging around the house, when I'm rotting after a hangover. It's perfect.
Definitely having a lot of anxiety about my gear fitting tight right now. I don't know, I just get a lot of anxiety when it comes to like gear and equipment and things just not fitting right. It's so hard being plus size in a snow sport because they don't make stuff in our sizes. You have to order it special online. Half the time it doesn't fit you right. It gets tight in all the wrong areas. So just having anxiety about that right now.
Knowing that I woke up, bitch, it's not about a fucking month. Fuck that shit right now. Knowing that I went to bed, that fucking man was ahead a little bit, but waking up to this man, literally, you're 4 points of fucking weight. Not only shows me how racist, which, hello, wake up, you black, you're aware of that. It not only shows me how racist this country is, misogynistic, y'all. We're at the point where I'm convinced y'all do not want to get ahead. Y'all had y'all glory fucking days in the back. Y'all hate to see a black, a Latino, anybody that's in an LGBTQ plus, a woman being happy doing shit on her fucking own. Because to wake up and seeing it being that close, and I'm seeing comments where people are like, I'm in another country, I don't know how this is happening. Wake up! This is fucking America, and this is sad. And every fucking body, any person that I still follow that has voted for him.
This is my voice. 1 day, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 2 months, 9 weeks, 11 weeks, 3 months, 14 weeks, 15 weeks, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 10 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years on testosterone.
Today I have a presentation on dynasties. But I refuse to talk about the ancient history and drama. That's just the patriarchy. Instead, I'm going to talk about a dynasty that I actually look up to. An all-women dynasty. Women of color. Gay women. A dynasty that makes your favorite men's basketball, football, and baseball teams look like amateurs. A dynasty that makes Alexander the Great look like Alexander the... Okay.
San Francisco's new body image expert for the health department, Virgie Tovar, just announced that asking for a smaller piece of cake at a party is a form of oppression for fat people. Now, at first, I thought she was saying that it's unacceptable for you to comment on how big of a slice of cake someone else gets, and I would agree with her, but no, she says that it's oppressive for you to pick a smaller piece of cake because, in her words,
the idea that you can position yourself as superior to others through self-control and self-denial is super sexist.
Now I'm all for people loving the way they look no matter their shape or size, but I feel like this message has gone so far that it's skinny shaming. And isn't the whole message of body positivity about not judging people based on the
All right, I had to stop it there with the whole the fat shaming, skinny shaming, because yes, the skinny shaming can definitely be just as bad as any of the fat shaming. No matter what people want to say about that.
A lot of people had like not given us jobs and stuff because they think they were so much weaker, because we're so small.
Yes, I mean that's just something that we deal with. We're not going on and telling people, oh, I'm so bad because I'm being shamed. It's part of life.
It's like discrimination, but it is what it is. I mean, the truth comes through anyway.
And it's a lot funner to show them up.
Exactly.
And say, oh, you think I'm weak? Okay, well, watch. That's just.
And for these people that are like saying that they should they should like, they should be able to fly, normal price. It's like, well, we should be able to get half price,
I know.
for our
Well, no,
skin, so,
exactly. The pygmy problem. It's like definitely. It's like, well, then can't we count myself and my son count as one?
Exactly.
Because technically we're nowhere near. I mean, if they're getting 2 seeds for the price of one, because they're double that.
Yeah.
Why can't
Why can't we have 1 seat for half price?
Yes. Such as the black women that are liberals are freaking out because they are not getting catered. It's weird and wrong. It's because black people mostly as a whole for a very long time have actually been racist and homophobic and conservative themselves. So they are wrong. Yes.
Right.
Very much so.
On the way they look or the things that they eat. It is just baffling to me that San Francisco's body image expert for the official health department is choosing to push the message on their platform that eating a smaller piece of cake is oppressive, because that is ridiculous. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments, and make sure to follow if you want us to stay up to date with the latest news.
We had the best Thanksgiving ever, all because our one family member, who is a very vocal Democrat who's been on a tirade of hate for the last 6 months, targeting certain family members for the most bizarre things and in general behaving like a narcissist, she decided that she just wasn't going to show up to Thanksgiving, I guess, to stick it to all of us for making the wrong decision at the election. And the joke's on her, because she had estranged her own daughter for the last 15 years. And we love her daughter, and we've missed her daughter tremendously. And so when we found out that she wasn't coming, we invited her daughter, and we had a wonderful time. It was all smiles, all love. There was no racism, misogyny, homophobia, Nazism. Like, we just had a wonderful time. We enjoyed each other's company. We shared our lives and our experiences. We ate delicious food. It was a full house of all of us. And it just goes to show that people's perception is their reality. And sometimes people are living in a very dark version of reality that just is not compatible with the light. So I hope everyone else had a great Thanksgiving wherever you were and whoever you were with, whichever side that you were on. In our family, we would have accepted you regardless of your views. And in fact, we would have accepted you and accepted your views in totality, because we love you for who you are, not because of who you voted for. So, happy Thanksgiving.
Are you okay?
No, I was thinking.
Look, she's pissed.
Alright, so this is going to be our last video before we end it. This is Simp Saver Sam. He's a really good one. I love his work. I've tried reaching out to him too to talk about some stuff, but I haven't really heard back from him.
You will.
Yeah. Same with Mediocre I'm in the works with too. I know I'll hear back from him. He's a great content creator. Oh, and Sancho, also, Wolfboy here, he reached out to High Proportion on YouTube, and they might be doing a collab of the what was it, Scary Mod? Horror mods, yeah. For Minecraft. Wanted to get that out there. I'm looking forward to that.
She's actually angry right now. If you win again, she might punch you. I kind of want to see it. I know. Jesus. Should we get a flex off? 2, 1, go! Come on!
She's struggling.
Turn!
He's struggling.
Ryan, go! Go! Grab the table with your other arm. Pull! Come on!
He's going to do it.
Ryan, stop laughing! Come on! Oh my God! Push! Go!
He's going to do it.
She's quitting!
Oh, come on!
Hit her!
A little more, dude!
Ryan, come on, bro! Put her down! He wins! Let's go! Let's go!
That's a W!
Guys, I think we all know that steroids doesn't change biology, does it? And arm wrestling isn't all about muscles. There's a lot of technique to it, as she found out. These girls are pumping so much juice, they sound more of a dude than I do. You know, girls going to the gym, that's great, but when they take it too far like this, I don't know, man. It kind of creeps me out.
All right, I had to stop that point because yes, you know, they're talking about women juicing up and then women trying to be like men as far as the muscles go. Yes.
Sorry.
My voice just got back in my face.
Sorry.
But yeah, that is gonna be women cannot compete that way. We had a neighbor once, when I lived on Sesame Street in Bakersfield. It's funny, yes. I lived there for a while.
He's a Muppet.
Yep. So when we lived there, she was next door to us, and she juiced up and was on steroids. Crazy lady too.
Steroids too?
She got mad. Yeah. She got mad that the birds. We had a bird feeder on our side of the fence, and then the birds were sticking their butts over her side all the time, and she got so mad. She stuck like duct tape on the fence and all this stuff trying to do that. It was
horrible.
It was, you know, the juice that did stuff to her. So yeah, but yeah, she tried to do that. I mean,
when talking about brute strength and everything, like, oh boy, he is slight in frame, right? And he's only 14 years old. I have really strong grip from working with animals, right? You know, I have a really strong lock. I mean, horses can't even move me sometimes. He can now best me with this. What is this? Arm wrestling, yes. And it's like no joke. He can actually win now, legitimately.
Yeah.
And so it's like, there you go. The biology, just like, you can't, you know. I mean, he's 14.
I know.
Slight in frame. He's a hobbit, you know. And I have years of experience, and he can still beat me.
Someday I'm sure he'll beat me.
I'm sure.
I'm sure
not yet though.
No, I just toy with him.
I actually have a video. I'll put it up.
Yeah. No.
But it's crazy. It's
It
like,
is.
I mean, it's like I said, I work with wolves. I work with horses, and
yeah,
I have a really strong walk, and he can do it. You know.
Of course. I mean,
Biology, man.
biology is the difference.
Hoorah!
What you doing?
Wow, man.
You big fuck up. You have a kid for the drink? You know you dash like that, mate. You know you dash.
Here we go.
She's just pinched and she's just hit a baby.
Hit a baby?
She's hit a baby.
Listen, go back in there. Now. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I fucking love you, man.
Don't do this.
What the fuck are you gonna do?
Wow.
Go. Get it down.
Good man.
Get it down. Get this. I want a ID. I'm calling the police. Call the police.
So she stole a drink, spat in multiple people's faces, punched a security guard, hit a baby. She sounds like a right catch, doesn't she? This brings back a lot of memories, you know, dealing with obnoxious women like her, you know, spitting on people, saying things, doing horrendous things, and punching people. They're always the first to.
All right, I had to pause it there again. It's like he talked about, you know, these women who have this masculine frame, who are spitting on people. I mean, they're acting so masculine in nature. You know, they should just be a guy. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Some of these women thinking that they're the boss bees, but yeah, they're acting more like guys than anything.
Right, I think that's the whole point, because it's like, I don't need a man, I don't want a man, I can do everything myself, but it's just not true. No
But then
matter how you slice it.
they've lost everything that they should be.
Yeah, the strength of the women is like gone, you know.
There's, yeah, women have their right and have what they are made for straight with them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we can tell. We're better at multitasking. We have better pain tolerance. You know, it's like there's a bunch of stuff that we can say that we have claim to, but they want it all, you know, and they want to be like men. And I was raised that way too. And I mean, that can serve you well in survival mode if you're out here trying to make a life for yourself. But you gotta, like, you know, they want men to step up, but they won't step down. And it's been my experience and from what I've seen from other people, it's like the woman has to make the first move. The guy is not gonna try and overpower you in a masculine frame. You have to show that softness and that femininity before he will step up.
Yeah.
It was taken for me. I couldn't go on anymore. And lo and behold, you stepped up into that position where I once was, you know, shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And so then it's just been like a continuous give and take, you know, I step down, you step up, and then if I start to freak out, I end up becoming a little bit too masculine, and we have to rebalance that. You know? Because the more masculine I get, the more I say you start exhibiting, you know, quote unquote little bitch behavior, you know, and then it just becomes this whole nasty tangled mess.
Yeah, it does.
And I gotta reestablish it, and you know, but every time a woman steps down, bless you, a man, bless you, a man is there to step up into that position and show his quality. You know, that you just don't see that any other way. You know, because you're never gonna. I mean, men are never gonna try and contend with a masculine framed woman. It's like they're just gonna walk away.
Yeah, as Andrew said, I've met a lot of women with masculine qualities. They are so annoying and inconsiderate and ignorant. These traits are not made for women.
Yes. See, I like to say that, you know, like masculinity worn on a feminine frame is just ugly. It's just horrible.
Yes.
It's just not weird. It's like masculine frame on a woman is chaotic and mean and aggressive, but a masculine frame on a man is calm and stoic and logical. You know.
I mean, look at the gay guys that are like really sassy and stuff.
Right.
That's same thing.
That's femininity being worn on a masculine frame, and it's just stupid, you know. It's like dumb.
And there's no place for it.
No, you know. So it's like, you know, you stick to those traditional roles and act accordingly. Because, you know, femininity worn on a woman is also, it's graceful, it's forgiving, it's compassionate. You know, but one on a man is just stupid and
exactly
and chaotic and dumb. Just the same thing, you know.
You said, "Whoa, LongWalker, they should just become men." LongWalker, you crazy dude. That's an excellent quote.
They should though.
Yeah.
Then everybody's into the whole trans thing, so why not? You know, just call yourself a dude.
Yeah, he's gonna write that down. Yep.
We making waves out here, you know, breaking the fourth wall.
Yep, busting it down. First off.
To lash out and then play the victim when a guy restrains him or does what he's got to do. And fair play to this security guard, because she could have done that to the wrong dude and it could have gone real bad for her. So fair play to him for keeping composed and dealing with the situation. She has definitely gone through life hitting people and expected nothing back. You know, she is the prime example of a scumbag. She really is.
He's gonna fuck 1,000 guys in one day.
I want to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in one day.
That should be illegal in the
Yep.
United
Okay,
States
but wait, bro.
and Canada.
Oh, she's doing it in the States on January 26th. I mean, I'm
calling the cops.
If you could handle with your people, maybe we deport her out of the States, because we might have to get Lily Phillips out of here before.
She can stay. I just
Before we get in
actually
line.
might like call the cops.
Wait,
I don't
love
think
that.
it's like a 911, but it's just like when
Look at all these guys, man, pouring in, queuing up to whap a chick. Like, all these guys are just as bad as him.
you call the police, you know, it might take them 30 minutes to call back, and it's just like, yo, I'm just letting you know this girl's about to bang 1,000 guys in
Man.
one day. I really don't think this is good for the neighborhood.
Where's her dad?
I don't think it's good for the county. It's definitely not good for the state, and it's not good for the country.
This girl is the Bizzle final boss. She is the final boss of Bizzleness, man. I remember seeing how she was after the 100 dudes in 24 hours. We covered it on the channel. She was completely traumatized, and
All right. All right. Now, I wanted to talk about this too. This Lily Phillips or
Yeah,
whatever.
Phillips, yes.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier, and talking about how the men are just as responsible as she is.
Right. And that is what they were saying. They're saying that, well, how dare the men exploit her and all of that. But that was the ultimate checkmate. Well, if you're going to hold them responsible, then you have to admit that they were in charge.
Yeah.
That men are in charge, you know.
No, it's more than likely what the men wanted, just she would have wanted.
But who wants that? You know, what guy wants it? That is not becoming at all. Like, that is
Well,
so emasculating and
I
just
know.
degenerate.
To have, okay, to go after somebody that's already had
However many.
that,
Yeah, right.
yeah. I mean, that is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
Not-
that's so diminishing.
Not only for your soul, but in terms of cleanliness and everything else too. I mean, you're asking for a disease.
Right. It's like, that's like the simpiest thing I've ever heard. You know?
100 was bad enough.
Right.
Now there's
One
talk
is
of
bad
1,000.
enough. 1,000, yeah, that's her next goal. And
That's death.
yeah, it really is. You know, and it's like, I've never understood even the whole like threesome thing when there's two dudes, because I mean that's like, who wants to, you know, I mean, I don't want to get into this into it right now, but it's just, it's so
No, it's
so emasculating.
yes,
Like, what guy does that?
and like we said, spiritually,
Yeah.
that's a death sentence spiritually.
Yeah.
Because I mean, okay, we talked about this on some of my other ones. It's like when you're with one person, and even if that one person's been with a couple of people, you're starting this chain reaction of who you then have been with.
Right.
Because they've been with people, and so that all just kind of goes down the line.
Right. It's like,
So I mean, imagine having like 10 people that each had even 50 people.
well, yeah, and if
You're adding those numbers up, and your body count alone is going to be out the door.
and more than likely, those guys, since they're in this sort of situation, have probably had other women multiple
Yes.
times before, you know. So it's like it's a cesspool of spiritual, death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really.
You know, spiritually normal cleanliness ways.
Yeah,
I mean,
disease bearing. It's very disease
you're screwed. Simple words. You are screwed.
These people are broken. They're never going to walk away from that. They will never ever be able to wash that off.
Yes. I mean, I've had issues, and the one that I was with had a couple she cheated on me, and there was issues
And
there.
that carries
But that
over.
was just a couple.
And it still
But that
carries
still
over.
carries over to this day. I can't imagine. I mean, it's no wonder why we're getting the woke mind virus and everything
Right.
going through people.
Yeah,
It's because of stuff like this.
Yes, it literally is because it's like even scientifically they say after even just 5 guys, a woman doesn't have the ability to pair bond, and so you're not getting the appropriate connection that's needed for survival and everything. So that's why they're so masculinized.
Yes.
And that's why men are so feminized.
Exactly.
I'd be willing to bet that 90% of those guys that were involved with this were raised by single mothers.
Yeah.
It always, the women, it comes down to the root of the women, whether it's a mother, a girlfriend, a wife, or whatever. It's like the women are the ones to blame for this.
Of course.
And it's like, the men, it's up to the men to reclaim that and say, I am not going to participate in this. We are not going to do this nasty shit. And pull us away from the stupid things that we do.
Yeah.
Oh,
And messed up from that, and she wants to 10x that. What the hell is wrong with these people, man?
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Like, for example, if my little cousin was getting bullied, he's 17, I'd slap a 17-year-old up.
Boy or girl?
Okay, just think about that for a second.
Because a 17-year-old boy, depending on the boy, could mop you up.
No.
That's true.
No, Zoe, yes.
Hold that, Zoe. Let's back up a little bit. No, Zoe, let's back up a bit.
Yeah.
You think you're dealing with most 17-year-old boys?
Squabble up.
No, Zoe, you've got a bad,
Nah.
you've got an inaccurate perception on
I
things.
think a 17-year-old boy would mop me.
I think
He's dealing with you.
You know what I think gave you too much confidence is just you running over little girls at rugby. I think
Hold on. You're telling me I could beat up a 17-year-old boy?
No, not the average high school.
The average boy, no.
You wouldn't even be able to deal with like the best 12-year-olds.
I was literally going to say, like most 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds would dice some girls up, man. I've seen it in the gym. I've seen it in the gym many times.
Come on. I beat a 12-year-old boy.
No, Zoe, think about what we are presenting right now.
Are you guys serious?
She got the average 12-year-old.
No.
The average 12-year-old,
That's
yes.
not what I'm speaking about.
Oh,
think
sorry.
about
Said the best.
think about the 12-year-olds that are problems.
Oh,
Zion at 12.
High key, the 12-year-olds that are problems are low key giving us problems.
Not going to lie, in the coaching days, I've seen some kids come in like 12, 13, 14 that come in looking like more of a man and having more responsibilities than most men in that gym. And I remember there was a 14-year-old, he was a Golden Glove champion, and he used to give adults problems, this kid. He was a problem. And I remember him sparring women and men, and he gave everyone problems, and he was 14.
We talk about male flight and the devaluation of education. In sociology, male flight is a term used to describe a phenomenon where men leave spaces associated with women.
Male flight, the tendency of men to leave occupations that are becoming more female dominated. I have never heard of that in my life. Have you guys? Never heard
Or
of
to
that.
uphold traditional masculinity. In 1979, only 200,000 more women attended college than men. Nothing crazy. But by 2021, 3.1 million more women started to attend college. So now, unfortunately, education is beginning to be seen as some sort of feminine hobby that is being
What?
discredited, which is why we've often started to see men in conservative media talk about how having an Ivy League education doesn't mean anything anymore because women are actually more likely to go to them.
Or the fact that degrees don't matter as much as they used to because companies only really care about experience. When you give an employer your CV, I've seen it many times, they'll skip through all your qualifications.
All right, I am going to agree with him on this one, that their college degrees are becoming worthless, mostly because a lot of the colleges are going so woke that the kids are learning, for the most part, just what gender
Indoctrination.
and the indoctrination of the gender woke virus.
Exactly. In my opinion, it's pretty much been worthless for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
I went and got mine early, and it has never done me any service, really. So I honestly don't feel, unless you're actually going to be a doctor or a lawyer,
That you're going to get much out of
that
it.
you're really going to get much out of it at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And it's like, even in high school, honestly, I do believe that the stuff that they should be teaching is how to do your taxes, how to pay your bills,
Yes, exactly.
how to cook,
Right.
Just simple stuff
Life
like that.
skills,
Life
yeah,
skills that you for sure are going to use, because they're always telling you, oh, this math you're going to use. Oh, you're going to use that. I haven't to this day used some of it.
No. And again, it is starting to spread into it. Them talking about the gender ideology and respect the pronouns and things like that.
Yeah.
That seems to be more of a focus.
Yes.
Than actually teaching them anything at the school. Like when he started doing his new school, yeah, they're talking about personality types and all of that and self-assessment and everything, which is fine. But that's just one part of the program, and he's already learning way more than he was.
Oh yeah, but this homeschooling,
The
right?
homeschooling,
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
He's learning way more than he was, and he's way more motivated than he was the whole couple months that he was going to the other school.
Yeah, the other school's a joke.
I mean, they had a thing about
JV, it's turned down the tubes. I mean, I can't even say what else. It's
Well, they yeah, I know. They like they don't care.
No.
They're not paying attention.
They went woke too.
They did. They had a whole meeting about it and everything.
Whole board in their office about it.
Yep. And then they turned around just last year, had to fire somebody and sent somebody to jail because he was having relations with a student.
Yeah.
The same shit they
But
in Valley is.
Well, I was gonna say that same thing happened when I went there.
Yeah.
Another teacher
Yep.
dated a student. Okay, Sancho said, I don't want to sound petty, but it should be said it's somehow a good thing for women to have masculine qualities while men are often enforced to deal and handle women's insecurities and rants. Man, LongWalker family, you are awesome, man. You are a blessing. Oh, thank you. I try to be. I just say what I know out there, and just there's a lot of issues out in the world right now. They need to be brought up. They need to be brought out there, and more people need to speak their mind. As far as the whole woke mind virus thing goes, it's like I am feeling very good about it right now, because with Trump coming into office, he has Elon.
Right.
And there's one other person, I can't remember who's with him.
I can't remember.
Anyway, but I got a feeling that they're gonna be able to do something and maybe make it not so prominent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they should completely ban and persecute and do all these things that
No.
everybody's afraid of, and I don't think that they will. They're just gonna make it more reasonable, especially concerning the youth and everything, and not having it in schools.
Yes.
And as far as women having masculine qualities, the only time they should have strong masculine qualities is if they are in fact in a single mother situation and fighting for survival, I believe.
Yeah.
Because
but see, that's
there
another.
has to be good qualities.
Yes, and that's another issue too. When you talk about fighting for survival, now when your body goes into what is it called, fight or flight. But then you're in it so much, you get a lot more issues because that's all your body then knows.
Right, and the way that society's been set up now is they have people always in that mode over shit that never should be.
Yes.
Paying your bills, paying your taxes.
No, that's never been on the table for people.
No.
Like people are made for, okay, there's a cougar coming after
Right.
you, and I mean the animal, and it's coming after you. It's about to eat you. What do? That's fight or flight mode. You run.
You're right, and that and then you get that sharp punch of adrenaline, and you get the stress,
Yes.
and that is actually good for you.
But not
Because it goes
this.
away.
I gotta pay my bills. I gotta pay my bills. You're hunched.
Yeah.
You
Armor.
just cannot deal with it, and you're constantly like that. Now, then, that's when your body does not know what to do.
Right. We have a saying out here with our tribe, and it says the desert has a way of shifting your priorities.
Yes, it
If
does.
people were more exposed to legitimate survival settings, and actually having to worry about where you're going to get water today and rationing out your food and everything and getting through those
Yes.
moments, hell, nothing else would ever stress you out again. Everything else is just a cakewalk,
Yeah.
and you can see the game for what it is. So,
Yeah.
my advice anytime I see somebody struggling with mental health issues, stick them out in the desert.
Yes, I'm just saying. Okay, my bad. I should mention and rephrase what I said. There's so many women out there that are fantastic with masculine qualities.
Yeah, if
yes.
it's worn well, and that it's
Yeah. For sure. I mean, they definitely can use it to their advantage.
For sure, it's good masculine qualities.
Yes.
You know, just not in the mean, assertive, aggressive way that many of these women come off as.
Exactly. They should not, this spitting on somebody.
Right.
This other stuff that they're doing. It's like, standing up, trying to be chest to chest.
Right.
None of that goes good.
Yeah, like if they're exhibiting true, like one of the masculine qualities that I say that all women need to learn is to take accountability and to, okay, yeah, no matter what, if I'm in charge, I take the fall for it,
Yeah.
But it's unfortunately a really feminine quality to try to shirk responsibility and to avoid accountability. That's a really negative feminine quality. So they tend to embody that with all the bad masculine qualities.
Yes.
But one of the good masculine qualities that they should be is to take accountability and to accept responsibility.
Exactly.
To be a little bit more stoic and more commanding in
Yes.
situation, not demanding but commanding.
Exactly.
Commanding respect. So, for sure. You're good. No worries.
Qualifications and degrees and what you come out of school with. They just want to know what you've done, what experience you've got. That's all they care about, in my opinion. I knew someone when I worked nights in retail. She had a master's degree and she could not get a job. I'm pretty sure she's still there now, but she was working nights, making minimum wage. She had this crazy degree and she still couldn't get a job.
Girls always take credit for a dude when he's like the best, right? It's always like behind every great man, there's an even greater woman, but you never hear behind every man that committed atrocities is an even more atrocious woman. Like Hitler's girlfriend, she sort of gets off the hook. You know what I mean? I was saying if she existed right now, she would have like a blog about how to spot dating a narcissist. Eva Braun would have a podcast with Anne Frank about how they're both victims.
Dang.
So there's this clip going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men?
Here we go.
Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women? Most of them said yes. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, and by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you accessorize like gay men. Nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men.
Well, newsflash, that building she sat in, the car she drives, the house she lives in, everything, the foundation of her life was pretty much built by men, whether she likes it or not. So claiming men are useless on TV is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
But with the exception of somebody like Steve, I think Steve is very self-sufficient.
That's Joy's husband.
But like my husband, it takes a village of women.
She's got a husband and she's saying this? Shout out to that dude, man.
To make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can,
You're a demon.
Men have video games and sports. What do women have? Like
Video games and sports?
they have golf.
Sephora. We don't have like there's no sport that girls go play all day long with each other on the weekends. Like we don't have that.
No, men have all these like little activities that they get to do, and I'm like, what do we
This isn't
do?
real.
Exactly. Like I'm like, interesting.
I think about that all the time. I'm like, what would life be like if I had hobbies on a regular, like things to do on a regular basis that don't involve eating, drinking, or being on my phone, or like the basics, like I read.
The hospital called. Your test results came back positive. You're a stage 5 dumbass.
All they're saying is, I don't have hobbies, so I'm a boring person. That's what it sounds like to me. They're people with no hobbies because they're boring people. Simple as that.
Is it just me, or is the idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive?
No.
And only one way. Like if I asked someone to sign a prenup because I had some like booming business, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. Like I would literally call off the wedding.
What? Look, if a woman loves you and she cares about you, she's going to have no issue signing a prenup. She won't. Because if you're with your soulmate, whatever, you're not even thinking about, breaking up. A prenup is a protection, because you don't know what's going to happen in 10, 20, 30 years. But hopefully that never happens. So if your woman doesn't want to do that, man, that's a red flag.
You would have called off the wedding if I asked you to sign a prenup?
Yeah, like I'm not even joking.
Run, mate.
I had no real ability to since you were with me when I was broke.
But it's just like I think it's because guys don't like in general, like they don't hold the same like values that women do in terms of like loyalty.
What?
In general. Like I'm not saying like, you know what I mean? Like
all I'm hearing from her is just some feminist bullshit. Men are bad, women are the heroes, men are the villains, they're horrible, they're nasty. The list goes on. That's all I'm hearing. I'm just hearing a bunch of feminist BS.
Okay.
Like I feel like guys in general just like aren't as loyal and like guys cheat more.
You're a second.
That's cap.
That's the thing.
I'm a feminist.
Knew it. I knew it.
But you're a
All right. Like you said, that is major cap. There are so many people in the military that their wives, girlfriends all go and cheat on them while they're overseas.
Yeah.
She wants to say, well, there's more men that cheat on women, and that no.
I don't feel that way because a lot of the women feel completely alienated and alone, and it's really difficult for women, surprisingly, to be alone. So, as much as they want to try and say that they don't need a man, they can do it all on their own, that just doesn't happen to be true. And they end up responding to the pressure and the stress by cheating.
Yes.
And I see it even living out here a lot of the times the women are notorious cheaters because the men are truckers or, work out of the house a lot. And it's just the way that they respond to it. So.
Exactly. And like they say that the male cheats more, guys. But I think that what happens most generally is the women cheat first. Yeah. And then I would recommend it. I would never do it, but they get jaded, and so they go cheat because they got cheated on. Right. So why shouldn't they?
Right. Yeah, that seems to be it. And if the guy does happen to be like a chronic cheater, like I saw one on Dr. Phil the other day. It was so crazy. It was like you could just tell. It's like this is how he's always been.
Yeah.
Why would you then try to marry him and change him? It was like. He was using the excuse of, well, she's only giving me sex, and then, a couple times a week, and then it was nothing, and, so I had to go get it somewhere else. And it's just, the whole thing that you always hear. And it was just, well, you could tell he's always been that way. Why did you marry him?
Exactly.
If that's the way he is.
It's exactly right.
I knew it.
It's giving sexist.
Because we were watching Ranj, aka Real Housewives of New Jersey, like reruns, and like Teresa was saying that Joe had asked her to sign a prenup, and I just feel like that's like the biggest red flag. I mean, not to judge like anyone's marriage, like if your husband had you sign a prenup and you guys are happy, like, I mean, that kind of like proves me wrong, but I just feel like it kind of just to me shows like, I don't know, like it's like kind of like you're not like.
How this guy is in a relationship with her. I've been listening to her for 30, 40 seconds and I'm getting to the point where I've almost had enough.
You're already not being generous. As a man, you're already not being generous. And I feel like men should be generous.
And what should women do?
Men aren't generous?
Be spoiled.
Okay.
So her argument is women should be spoiled and, signing a prenup is a red flag. And like I said at the start, I knew she was a feminist because all I was hearing was a bunch of bullshit. Her feminist values that go on in her head is all about superiority, not equality. You know, it's all about benefits to her and take, and men are bad, men are this, men are that. It's all the same shit.
Where should they be generous?
With money.
No. Where should women be generous?
Oh, like with tender love and care.
I don't think.
Well, I'm not saying I do it all.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. She doesn't do any of that. She's just talking nonsense, man.
I do.
More than me?
Oh, no, more than you.
Well, there you go.
Man, this guy needs to pack his bags and leave. He needs to run. He really does. 45 seconds of being sat and listening to that. Yeah, I would have made my decision right there and then. And her values on life and the way she looks at men and him and all that shit she was talking. Yeah, she is a red flag. That's what she is.
Do you think if the girl in the relationship starts gaining weight and the guy finds himself unattracted to her, do you think it's okay for the guy to tell the girl, I'm becoming unattracted to you. I hope that you can fix it, or I want you to fix it?
Yeah.
So if a guy says, I think you're becoming unattractive because you're getting a little fat, I think that's like a total red flag.
Let me ask you another question.
Why?
If your guy was to lose his job, is that okay?
No.
That's not okay. All right.
It don't matter, man or woman. Like, if you're losing attraction or, you know, there's boundaries you have in a relationship, being open and communicating about those things is part of an honest relationship. That's just what you do. You know, if I started dating a girl and she was 100 pounds when I met her and then she became 200 pounds a year later, yeah, I didn't sign up for that. I wanted to date one of you, not two of you.
What's the lowest amount of money you would set your best friend off for?
Girl,
Whoa.
best guy, nothing.
I wouldn't.
Guy.
Oh, no, I don't have best
I'm in a
friend.
relationship, so no money either.
And then what if you weren't though?
I've done it, so free.
I beg your pardon. What is one thing that men do not understand about women in today's generation?
All
They
right.
have no emotional intelligence unless they're in therapy.
A lot of men are like, all women are the same. All women are the same, right? And they just label you as women. But we're all different. We're all.
To be fair, I don't really hear guys say that. In all honesty, it's if anything, I hear women saying all men are the same, all men are trash.
different and awesome.
I got pie.
Good man.
Yo, you know somebody that actually made good music, man? Lizzo.
Lizzo?
Hold
That's
up.
a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the shit emoji.
Yo.
Very beautiful girl. She's got a very pretty face, but she keeps showing her body off. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. I'm sorry. Listen, I ain't the most in shape in the world. I think I'm at least handsome, but a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes
Damn.
is in trouble.
Savage.
What did he say? We think single motherhood has been around for a long time. It really hasn't. This is a new concept, and they use marketing campaigns to get you to accept it.
Okay.
1950s, 5%. Not a lot of children born to unwed mothers. We get to 2012, we're almost dang near half. Some communities, 70% of the children born to unwed mothers. Right now, the father absence is a crisis in America. I'm telling you this for a reason, because the guys that want to be fathers, probably half of you, will not even raise your kid from 0 to 18. The systems are already in place for you to not be in that home. So what does that lead to? Kids that grow up without a father, 4 times as much to be raised in poverty, 7 times likely to be a teenage pregnancy victim, more likely to experience child abuse. That's normally because single mother has moved in another man. Child obesity. Are we seeing this today? 2 times as likely to suffer from obesity. 73% of the prison inmates were raised in single parent households, primarily single mothers.
Wow, that is definitely statistics feminists don't want to speak about. You know, and I can definitely relate to that. I grew up without a father, and I had to go out there in the world and learn the hard way with a lot of things. You know, I didn't become an adult until I was like 22. I really had to jump in at the deep end and become a man the hard way. I made a lot of mistakes, got in a lot of trouble, did a lot of shit. I was just, I didn't have a father there to check me. And it's kind of rare nowadays that, you know, even all my pals, people I know, most of them don't have the mum and dad at home.
And yes, the growing up without a father, a lot of people have done. I mean, it's crazy, the statistics. If there was a one parent, like the mother mostly, raising the kids. I was in that area. My mother, I was with my mother for a lot of the time.
Yeah, and it really showed.
And, you know, it's like those statistics of being higher for a lot of things is so true.
Like my father non-existent, and they had a stepfather that he was around between the ages of me being like, I think it was like 3 or 4, and then when I was 15 she ran him off as well. And even when he was there, it was, that's my child, you can't discipline her, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know. So I really grew to resent him.
Yeah.
But luckily, my mother did have stronger masculine qualities, and she, you know, I wasn't one of those. I guarded my virtues. You know, I was like, I didn't like sleep around. I wasn't a teen mother. You know, I only been with one person, and that's you.
Yeah.
You know, we were married before he was born and stuff like that. So
Exactly.
the statistics there didn't play out, but most of my friends, most of the people that I knew, yeah, they had one parent, and it was usually the mother.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that Danny, one of my students, she was the only one that had a father that was raising her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, sorry, I think Kimberly was the only one that had both parents, and she might as well not have.
I know, because they were
They
in
did
bad
not get
shape.
along and everything.
It's like my father. I had a father, but you know, usually he'd be across the state.
Right. And he
So-
was more concerned with comfort rather than like discipline, compassion, stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
It's just-
that's how I was raised.
right. And, it was
And it's,
comfortably.
and it's like I would safely say that in my mother's house, I probably saw her go through over 10 to 12 guys.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's funny how they want independence, saying that, you know, they don't need men, they can do whatever that they
Yeah.
want, but they go through men like crazy.
They do.
My
They
mom,
absolutely do.
my mother did. She was a classic man eater. You know, she you know. So that was the only thing that saved me, I think. You know, I didn't want to be in a relationship. I didn't want to be around men at all. It was like that was the only thing that saved me, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it did its own damages, but at least I wasn't like, you know, a teen mother with like, you know, 5 or 6 baby daddies.
Yeah.
But yeah, they raised us in comfort rather than compassion.
For sure, yes, they did.
And it's worse on the boys, you know. It's like when the boys are raised by single mothers, it's like you just like, I don't know. It's like this emotional incest that they talk about.
Yes.
And it's like you're supposed to be the man of the house, but you still don't have any pull over anything. You can't really do anything. You're just there for her comfort and for her validation, and that's like really weird, you know, a really weird dynamic, and it's
It
usually in a
is.
really weird way.
Yeah.
And takes forever to untangle. And like I said, for all these years that I fought with you, that's because I can see her, and
Yeah.
you know, and like I'm sorry, but you know, her weakness and her lack of direction and things that she did just literally disgusted me. So to see that in you disgusted me.
Yeah.
You know, you've had to come out of that and claim your masculinity and step up into the position that you are now.
Exactly. And I mean, I was gone for what, about a year, I think it was.
18 months.
So
yeah.
it's like, you know, unfortunately, Guru here was without a father for that amount of time.
I mean, and honestly, even right from the get go, because you just didn't really, you were just not involved, not because you were like apathetic, but because you were ran off.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Exactly. And so it's like I've come back and now I've stepped up and made sure to be
Yeah. So,
that father figure and make sure he knows.
yeah, that this is the way that it is, and I'm not going to let you down, and you know that you've got a higher standard to sit up to. So,
Yes.
yeah. But it's really hard, especially for the boys coming from single mothers.
Yes.
It's really difficult.
Yes. Okay, so interested. I have evidence that women are more likely to kill or abuse their kids, and a man accused of being a father of a fetus, which he is not, almost gets sent to jail.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
and
very,
I mean it's true because women get overwhelmed.
your screen is flickering. It's done 3 times.
Better? That
Yes.
We're almost done, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why it's flickering. It looks like it's gonna die.
I know. I don't want to talk about it. Let's just ignore it and
Okay.
pretend like everything's fine.
It's always like a stepmom, a stepdad, or a single parent for that matter. Having a 2-parent household is a really rare thing these days, unfortunately. Discussing Taylor Swift and fat phobia. All right.
In Taylor Swift's new music video, she has an imagery that directly contributes to anti-fatness. There's a moment where she's in the bathroom with what can be visualized as her inner critic, and she steps onto a scale and it goes to the max weight and it says fat in big capital letters, and there's this kind of like moment of disgust and critique. I think what she's trying to visually communicate is her struggle with beauty standards and body image, which so many of us can relate to. There are 7 bazillion ways that she could have communicated that without contributing to anti-fatness. And some of you might be saying, Angelina, is it really that serious? Is her stepping on a scale really that big of a deal? And is it really contributing to fat phobia? And the simple answer is yes, it is.
Obesity is a big time problem, especially in some countries. It's like 70 to 80% of people are obese. I think a bit of fat phobia will do those places some good, mate. You know, and if this girl here was a fella and she grew up with the boys, you know, you growing up, people calling you fat, taking the piss out of you, you wouldn't care. You know, I've got fat pals. We take the piss out of them all the time. And when I've put on some timber, they take the piss out of me. Like, guys don't really give a shit about all that. And these sensitive wet wipes, they need to wear a crash helmet going through life if they think everyone's going to cater to them.
Put me with the girls who want to be rich. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, I want that black girl luxury. I want to wake up and do anything I want. I want to have my own business. I want to have my own YouTube. I want to have my own everything. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to work for nobody.
Welcome to adult life, mate.
And it might sound so lazy. Like, people be like, well, what's your dream job? I don't have no dream job. I want to get up and literally do what the fuck I want to do. Eat what I want to eat. Why are we paying for groceries? Why are we paying for food? I want to get up and take a vacation whenever I want to take a vacation. Like, in reality, I don't even think we really supposed to be working for real. Like, we's not supposed to be doing this. We supposed to be waking up, growing our own food, picking our own, you know, veggies. Like, I'm tired of this. Like,
Well, 99% of people who go to work don't want to go. They do it to pay their bills, put food on the table, and provide for their families. It's not something anyone wants to do. We have to do it. And that's just part of adult life, and you've just got to get on with it. And if you want to change that and build a business, then you've got to use all your spare time to grind towards it. Like, your life depends on it.
All right, now that we got that all the way through, this was a longer live. Say hello to the other walker.
Let's see. There you go. There you go.
Here we go.
The little walker.
The little walker. He's all here.
Got little walker, long walker, and no walker.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sancho, thank you for joining us. Pleasure as always. We love chatting with you and going over.
Yeah.
Namaste, my friends. We'll be back on Friday. Not sure what we're doing, but we'll figure something good out.
The universe always provides.
Yep. The storms will provide. So, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time. Keep on walking.
Joshua told everybody after Moses died. Keep walking.